Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel, and welcome back to Thornton Farm Revisited on the Thornton Farm revamped map for Farming Simulator 22. I need to just stop into the shop here and have a word with this guy, and I will be right back with you and tell you all that's going on and why we're up here. All right, that's exactly where he wanted it, so that's where we left it. So we have brought up to the shop our big John Deere 1775 planter, which is just too big for our needs, to be plain and simple about it. It's nice to have a nice big wide row crop planter, but because our roads and field entrances and stuff are what they are, it's a little hard to get it in there. You almost have to just slide it in, and I can do it. And Abner has been pretty successful at getting that planter moved around on the farm and into the fields, but Smithy struggles with it and usually tears out a fence post or something. And so we are basically going to sell it. The dealership is going to sell it for us, and we are going to downsize our planter needs for the likes of corn and sunflowers if we continue to do that. But definitely on the corn side of things, we will be having a new planter very, very soon. Now, in the previous episode, episode number 11, which you guys saw on Friday after I kind of took a few days off that week after Easter, um, we chopped the corn silage for our silage needs. And as you can see as we go by that Smithy and Abner managed to get that all loaded down, compacted and blanketed, and we hit our goal. We hit the 500,000 liter mark of chaff for those two fields, and so that's going to give us a surplus. Going to give us a surplus as we go into next year. We've got about I think about 75,000 liters left. No, about 60,000 liters left, which obviously will be consumed up over the next couple of months while that silo is fermenting and getting things ready to go. The greenhouse project for the soon-to-be Mrs. Smithy is almost complete. I say almost complete. The construction companies have yet to come up and remove their last container, but I will tell you, they left it. They left it there, and they left the doors unlocked. And Mrs. Smithy has actually been using the Mrs. Smithy has actually been using that container to store boxes and stuff in, extra boxes and such, because she just found that it was easier to have the stuff up here than having to run back and forth down to the main farm when we would store warehouse the empty boxes. I'm talking about the empty boxes. The unit is essentially refrigerated, so we've got a refrigerated portion in there that she can store the fruits and veg, and then there's a non cooled facility. Did I say heated? If I said heated, I meant cooled. Refrigerated is what I meant to say. Anyway, that's what that is. She's got a dumpster here that looks to need to be emptied. And then she's got herself a little area over here where she can just kind of chill out, read a book, um, cook a bratwurst or something on the grill. I think that Smithy comes up here and eats a couple of times a day. He has a very healthy appetite, and she is working up now, kind of as we speak. She's working up honey, and it's working out really well. And then of course we also had three brand new greenhouses, double sized greenhouses put in as well. So everything is good to go up here. There is room for expansion, and we may consider doing more greenhouse operations up here next year. We'll just have to kind of see how things go. But as I said, Mrs. Smithy, the operation is in full swing. She's running the show and just enjoying it. And I think she's really found her 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 niche, if you will, what she can do. Now, you may see our money go up as over the course of this video. I've got Smithy is handling the sale of milk today. We have a whole lot of milk. We actually held milk over the last couple of weeks because we managed to strike up a deal with the dairy, and this is when they wanted the milk, and so we met their demands and able to provide it now. So that's going to take quite a while for him to get all that done. Um, and as I said, Mrs. Smithy is working the greenhouses today. Abner is doing some stuff with the animals over on in the sheep pastures. And today, me and you're going to watch me cultivate in this oilseed radish over here in field number 11, where we're going to get our winter wheat crop seeded. I'm not sure if we'll start seeding in this episode. It just kind of depends on if I run out of things to talk about, but we're at least going to start with the cultivation of that. Now, I know that I can, with the cedar that we have, the Amazon cedar, I can direct seed on top of that oilseed radish, but I kind of like to cultivate the oilseed radish in um, before I run the cedar across it, just to for I guess for realism purposes. This would probably be done, a little, a day or two, or maybe a week before you actually were to plant on on this field. As I cough and hopefully remember to edit that out. But anyway, hope everyone is having a splendid day, fantastic day. In the real world, it is middle of the week, on the week after Easter, Wednesday to be exact. So I'm working ahead just a little bit as far as how and when you're going to see this particular video. You're going to see this video, I believe, on Monday, unless I decide to let it go on Saturday or something like that. But you're going to see the my return, episode number 11. You will have just watched that on when on I'm sorry, no, this video is going to be you're going to see this video on Friday. I'm sorry. My The video that I recorded after taking a couple of days off for Easter, you guys are actually watching that uh, as I record this video. So yeah, you're going to see this video on Friday, and then I'll get another video recorded, and we'll try to get back to our uh, Monday, Wednesday, Friday format. That seems to be working out well for me. It also seems to be working out well for you all as well, because as I have said so many times before, I know that you guys have other channels that you watch, and me putting out a video every day is just going to burn me out quicker, and also going to burn you guys out, and the number of watch minutes and stuff like that just tends to not be as high when I do things a little more, when I just, flood the pipeline, if you will, with content. And that's fine with me, and I know it's fine with you. It gives you time to do some stuff. But we had our first. Mrs. Smithy had the idea a couple of weeks ago, and we needed to really get the greenhouse project and everything completed, because she wanted to showcase that to kind of the community. And so we had an open house event that we held out here last Saturday, and that was a huge success. And we called it Fresh from the Farm open house event, and we basically invited all the surrounding communities out to Thornton Farm here. Mr. Thornton came down and was over at the greenhouse area. We had a huge tent set up, had refreshments that was sponsored by Mr. Thornton's bar, and just really had a grand old time, and allowed people to sample fruits and veg from our farm. We had one of Mr. Thornton's cooks from the bar was there scrambling up eggs, and we were serving milk fresh from the dairy, and just basically showcasing the community what we have. And then we had a sell point area, where we allowed people to buy fresh from the farm. Hence the theme of of the event was a huge success, and we do plan to do these periodically. Now, now Mrs. Smithy is going to open the dairy, or I'm sorry, the greenhouse area up every other Saturday, at least during the fall, which we're almost into fall here. In the fall and very early winter, maybe reopen it again very late winter, kind of weather dependent. We'll just kind of see how things go, but she's going to open this up every other Saturday to allow people to come out and essentially buy fresh from the farm. That's the concept that we want to go with. And I need to pause just a moment and tip. And we're back. And if I don't do that, I obviously forget most times and end up having to come out and kind of recreate whatever it was that I was working on as far as screenshot purposes go. And there goes our autosave. And again, I said before, my apologies for that, but it's worth it to me to use that and have it make sure that it's auto saving without me having to go into the menu system. Just because now, knock on wood, I'm going to knock on my wooden desk here. I haven't had a crash to desktop in more than probably 7 or 8 days, 10 days, something like that. So don't know what it was. It could have just been my machine took some Microsoft updates as well as the update for the new version of Farming Simulator, the game updates, and it could have been something all kind of tied to that. But in addition to all the greenhouse project that I've been babbling on, we've also Smithy and Abner also have managed to get our canola fields planted. So we plant canola in the late summer time frame so that that is harvestable in the early summer, and so that's done. As far as harvests go, here on Thornton Farm, and this is also the same for Calmsden Farm as well, which I'm obviously managing uh, for Mr. Thornton, is that we've got basically 3 fields left to harvest here on Thornton Farm. We've got a big field of sugar beets, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. We've got a field of sunflowers, and then we also have some soybeans. And so I think you can see the soybeans straight ahead there. We are we're going to get all that done. Everything's got to get done. Obviously, we've got Smithy and soon to be Mrs. Smithy's wedding coming up in the fall after the harvests and everything are done. But the sugar beet situation, um, Mr. Thornton, they started planting and growing sugar beets here on Thornton Farm a couple of years ago. I had already moved off and moved over to Calmsden, and we don't do sugar beets over there, but they started growing them here for contract purposes. And Mr. Thornton had a contract um, with the company to grow those, and what he has done, and it's worked out well, to be honest. Even though this is now, I think, the third year that they've done sugar beets, he just hires a contractor to come out and harvest those, and they bring out one of the big self-propelled harvesting machines, and they do quite a few farms in this Gloucestershire area of England. And so the cost to us, because they'll come out and they'll do everything. They'll do everything from the harvesting to running the tipper trailers, tractors, and all that kind of stuff. But we don't need that piece because we can handle the sugar beet once it gets out of the ground. So we will basically partner with this contractor, and we will do the running the tractor tippers and everything, and moving the sugar beet from the harvester. And from that point, it's all our responsibility. And then I think, Mr. Thornton, we warehouse those up there at the greenhouse area in that huge shed that you see there, and then we sell them once the contract is ready for that. So that's a good deal, and that's quite a bit of money. There's a lot of money in sugar beets. Um, and Mr. Thornton just has a way of getting the best out of those contracts and all that stuff. So that's all good to go. All right. Well, we are just the last few square feet of getting this field cultivated and getting these oilseed radish turned under. And let's just get this done here. We're going to do a quick check to make sure that the soil and everything is showing that we have one level of fertilization. Nitrogen is 140. Yeah, we may have to, I'll have to see, but we may have to come in and touch it with a little bit of maybe liquid fertilizer. Um, Next spring. This is going to be winter wheat that we're going to put in. We'll get started on it today. I don't know if we'll actually finish. I've got a few more little topics here that I want to talk about. Hope everyone is doing really really well. And kind of before I forget it, if you do like the content, please click the like button. If you are new to the channel and you have not yet subscribed, I would appreciate it if you would consider dropping a subscription as well, and tell all your friends. The Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel. I started making videos back in uh, 2015 and have been making videos mostly ever since. I have taken a few hiatus periods where I haven't produced content. I think the longest was a year. I stopped making videos um, February of or March of 2022 and didn't make any videos until just about 3 weeks ago, and got back into the fold. And so having fun playing this map and really engaging with all of you all as we select our wheat here. Now we do have a tad bit of we do have a tad bit of fertilizer um, installed in this, and let me just take a moment to get GPS set up here, and I'll be right back with you. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, I am back with you. We just set up GPS, and we are now cooking with gas here, and it looks like it's using a little bit of regular fertilizer to supplement what we had done here. I don't think I can't remember if we put slurry down in this field or not after we harvested whatever was on it. I think this was a barley field, um, but using a little bit. But I don't think we're using as much as we would be had we not invested in putting the time and energy and everything of putting the sugar, or putting the oilseed radish in. That's what I'm trying to say. So we'll go ahead and just kind of do us a headland, and I'll come around and fix that little area there. So I know a few episodes ago I kind of talked about my what I saw on with the new Farm Sim 23, the release for the mobile version of Farming Simulator, and I've seen some more video content from it, and really and truthfully, as I said on the video, whichever episode that was that I started talking about it, it's still really nothing that that excites me enough to where that I'm going to um, buy the game. As I said, I don't even think that my old Samsung Android tablet would even play it. It does well for the few solitaire games that I have on there. I have a backgammon game on there. I think I talked about backgammon was something that I've kind of gotten hooked on. Not the electronic versions. I mean, I play it just to kind of sharpen my skills, but my wife and I play a couple of rounds of backgammon every day. Sometimes on the weekend, sometimes we play a little more, but it's been something that I've really enjoyed playing. And um, but I don't think I'm going to go out and invest in a new tablet just to be able to play the mobile version of Farming Simulator. I know that many people will, and that's fantastic. And hopefully that brings in a lot of added revenue for Giants, and they will be successful with this endeavor. But I just don't think that it's for me. I enjoy. Um, I think I think AK asked if I knew if it would take mods, and I don't think the mobile version will accept mods unless maybe they are in the form of Giants, Giants mods, Giants DLC, something like that. I think that it's possible that um, Giants themselves will have some things that they will release for the platform. I don't know if it will be, all inclusive with the base price of the game, or if they're going to try to market these and sell these extra. Time will tell, but it's not something that I'm really excited about, because I would rather come down to my man cave and enjoy playing over a cup of coffee or a glass of iced tea, and record content. I can't. I'm sure there's going to be some people that's going to record content, their gameplay and everything on this platform. How that would all work within, everything. I don't know. Again, it's just not something that I'm really that jazzed about. But but I have been curious. I have been curious about just what is the future for the PC console version of the game. Now, I don't mean to say that in a way that it makes people think that Giants is going to get rid of it or anything. No, I'm more inclined to sort of try to understand um, when we might see a new version of what we're playing now, the PC version. Will there be a Farm Sim 24? And if so, are we looking at that coming out this fall? Kind of how Giants has done things historically. To be quite honest with you, I would be more than happy if Giants were to have, of course, it would change the numbering system again, unless they chose to wait an extra year on top of the year that I'm sort of going to mention here. But I think that 22, with the mods that we have available today, and we have had some really incredible mods come out in the last few months now. Even though I've only been recording content for a few weeks back on the channel, I've been playing Farm Sim for the better part of, I really never stopped playing Farm Sim. I stopped a little bit last year in 22, um, for about a month or so. I didn't play. I was kind of bored on a few of the maps that I was playing, and I was waiting for some other stuff to come out. But um, I've kind of continued to play, and I've tried to kind of stay in the loop on various things with mods and such. But we're in that point that the problem with the new version of the game is that, this version has been out now more than a year. It's something like 18 months. So this came out in the fall of 21, right? Yeah, fall of 21. It was called Farm Sim 22. So it's coming up on, you know, it'll be 2 years old this fall. Now, you know, in the difference between Farm Sim 19 and 22 was they put that extra year in there, and then obviously the numbering changed. It went from being an odd release with 13, 15, 17, 19. Um, Farm Sim 21 would have been the next edition of that, but they chose to skip the year, and then it became Farm Sim 22. But the dilemma that I see, as we are almost wrapping up this field, so we've got two jobs done on this video. But the dilemma I see is that, while I would, while I hope that there will be future versions of Farming Simulator, and I believe that it's safe to say that there will be, um, it is that it is that somewhat grueling process. The first 3, 4, 5 months maybe even as much as 6 months, let's be honest, that we have to wait for for our favorite mods to make their way to the new game. Um, Now, I will say that, and I've said this before, and I said this when Farm Sim 22 first came out. Elm Creek was one of the best farming simulator maps that Giants have ever done. That that they've included with the base game, and so clearly they've maybe upped their maybe they've upped their game, if you will, on map creation, but you're not gonna see a quality map um, like Calmsden, like Thornton Farm here, like the soon to be released Court Farm. You're not gonna see those. You're not gonna see those coming out for the new version of Farming Simulator for 4 months, 6 months at a minimum. Also, all the various script mods that help to make the game um, more enjoyable, better gameplay, etc., like course play, GPS, some of those things. I mean, look how long it took. Look how long it took the Follow Me mod to make it to Farm Sim 22. I mean, that was one of the of script mods between course play, obviously auto drive is needs to be included in that, but Follow Me was is one of those that ranks up there in the very top of the script type mods that I almost need for must have, just kind of the way my style of play. I like to use Follow Me, especially like for tedding and baling, things like that. That works out really well. Or just moving equipment around the farm. It's they're just it's a very handy mod to have. But obviously, when a new version of the game comes out, we've got that extended wait until the mods come. Now, I've not heard anything. Now, I will also caveat this and say that I have not sought out to learn whether Giants is working on a new version. I mean, I'm sure they're working on the new version, but whether or not that is on the radar enough to say that it's going to be um, it's going to be in coming out in the fall, or they're going to wait a year and do the whole renumbering shuffle back to where it was before, or even wait another year further than that. I don't know if any of you guys have heard something, read something somewhat definitive. Leave a note in the comments. But from what I've seen and heard, wow, we just almost ran out of seeds there. 6 liters left. But yeah, let me know. Leave a note in the comments and let me know if you've heard anything specifically about the future of the PC console version of the game, and what we can expect. As I said, and I'll just wrap things up and close things out here. I personally would be okay with waiting a year, because I just don't really, unless they can do something that is so revolutionary, um, and I don't know that we can really expect that unless they have completely done a rewrite of their gaming engine, or chosen to go a different route. But I think that I don't think that there's going to be revolutionary things that we're going to see between 22 and say 24, if that were to be a number. And I'm pleased to just, with the quality of maps that we have on the horizon, with the quality of maps that we already have today available. I mean, there's more quality, what I would consider top 10 maps that's available today than I personally have time to even play, even spend a few hours on. So anyway, as my voice is giving up because I need to go get another cup of coffee, I will just end this here and say thank you so much for watching. I will try to get back on the schedule again and get things on a more consistent basis. I appreciate you all, and take good care of yourself and also those around you. And I will speak to you right back here on Thornton Farm and Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel. Bye for now.